All right, the topic today that we're going to discuss is what is a good price for a hat. Some of you are probably Googling, hats for gifts for yourself or gifts for a significant other for Christmas. So hopefully we can give you a little bit of a buyer's guide so you don't get duped online. If you've not seen this channel before, welcome. We talk everything you can imagine. A lot of that is hats, believe it or not. And so if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, then also subscribe so you can see more content just like this. So this is 100% subjective, what I'm going to tell you. Some of this is absolutely, my findings are from research. Some of these prices fluctuate where you live and stuff like that. So maybe don't take all of this as gospel truth. A good price for felts. Now, felts have a a vast variety of pricing depending on the quality. That certainly trickles even to smaller gaps when you get into the straws. So for felt, if you're a first timer, I would definitely don't go too cheap, but kind of don't get to where you're spending over $200 to $300. So I split this in three different categories. So I have a sub 7x category, then I have a 10x to 20x category, and then anything above a 20x. So I'll just kind of talk through those real quick. So anything below a 7x quality is still a really good hat. When you get down into those 4s and 3s, the longevity is going to be shortened. So if you haven't seen our video about what the X value means, you could probably click that here and have an idea of what that means. But basically, that's not going to last you as long. It's going to be cheaper. And if you're not going to be working in them a ton, maybe that's your best option. So for that 7 and below, I would try to stay below $250 to $200. You can find felts for $80. You're probably going to be in that high, 150 or above if you're staying below 7X or lower. Now, some 7Xs I think are made better. Resistol makes a really good 7X. American Hat Company makes a really good 7X. This is a 7X hat that I'm wearing right here. I've had it for 2 years, just turned it into a working hat. This hat was $300, so it's kind of an outlier, but the quality is really good. Once again, if you don't know how to assess quality, go touch some hats, the feel. Our video about X value also explains that. So then when you get to the 10 to 20X, that's more of your working hat, maybe a nicer finished hat that you're not going to wear very much, but you're going to pay a lot more for that. So you're probably at a minimum of 300. You could go up to 500 in that 10 to 20, sometimes even higher. Some of that has to do with finish on the hat. So when you have a bound edge, when you have a nicer buckle, it's I'll talk about this with some others too, is the size of the hat. So your head might be a certain size, but if you're getting those bigger brims or odd colors, different things like that, you're going to expect different prices. So that 10 to 20 range is basically in between $300 and $400, maybe $500. So then the 20 and plus. So I would call this luxury hats or long-term. These are hats that are going to last you a lifetime. Even when you work in them, they're going to last a long time. Those you're starting at $500. And if it's an investment, I would think of it as an investment as someone who's going to wear them all the time. If it's a really nice hat and you want to give a really nice gift, there's nothing wrong with that. It really is going to last maybe even longer than you do. So those are kind of some prices there. Those three values, different, price ranges. I think the main thing is if you're getting into it, expecting that $100 to $200. And if you've been in it a while and you're looking at a nice hat, don't be surprised if it's over $500. So the next category is straw. Now this one will kind of go quickly. Once again, remember the brim size is going to change the price sometimes. So if you see like a deal that's too good to be true, maybe check, is it just a 4-inch brim? If you like that, that's great. But if you're looking for that bigger look and that price looks really good, double check that when you're going to buy it. So I would call, certain hats budget hats. So Twister makes a really good hat. American makes a really good hat. Resistol. American and Resistol, I would not call those budget hats. They kind of, have a little higher premium based on the weave, whether it's hand woven, how fine they are, and then of course the lacquers that are on there. So like the budget hats, if you're looking to buy those, I would say $60 or less, somewhere in there. Once again, the trimming on them is going to change some of that, but if you see that price, that's a good price, good to go. And then I would say top of the line. So those would be those finer, tighter ones, American Hat Company or Resistol. You're going to be, I would say a good price is $150 or below. If it gets above that, maybe see why. Why would it be that high? To me, a straw is not a lifelong purchase. Even when you get a really nice one, they will time out, especially if you work in them. So just kind of keep that in mind. So then the last one, we're kind of moving along quicker. These are a little bit easier, is Palm leaf. Now I kind of put palm leaf in two categories. I would call like the cheaper no finish. So that would be like a Sunbody Hat Company hat. That's what this is. The weave is a little more coarse. These are working hats for sure. And a lot of times you'll get it and it'll only come with, their black band that goes on there. This one is pretty cool. It's got this nice bound edge, but definitely working variety, not super high fashion. That's going to be, I would expect those to also be $60 and less. You might see one that's higher, maybe question why. Once again, in these, they come in so many different brim widths that the price will vary. So if you get a real small brim, it might be the same as one that's really big, or if there's a really big brim, maybe they are going to charge you an extra 10 to 15 bucks for that. And then Atwood, there's all kinds of palm leaf manufacturers, but Atwood makes a really nice refined finished hat. I do not have one. They're really cool though, in all different styles. And those will either have, nicer ribbons, a little more finish, maybe some eyelets poked in the side for venting, bound edge, things like that. But also the weave is a little tighter. And so maybe I would just call it a more high fashion finished hat. Those, expect those to be, $80, $100, $120, and don't be, offended about that at all, because that is just not necessarily a nicer product, but a more refined product made for fashion, not necessarily use. So hopefully we answered some questions about what's a good price for a felt, what's a good price for a straw, and then what's a good price for a palm leaf. When you're going out to buy, just if you can remember a few things from this video, don't forget that brim size is going to change that price. So if you like this video and want to see more videos just like this, please like and subscribe to the Startup Cowboy channel.